Hi, I'm Ryan with SteelMaster Buildings, and today we're going to react to a few of our customers' videos. In this video, we're going to react to Pax Woodworking's Quonset hut construction video. Let's take a look.
If you told me that this is where I'd be working 10 years ago, I'd say there's no chance of that happening.
First thing I see are these beautiful, looks like custom woodworking doors, custom front wall for the customer that he built himself. This is beautiful.
A big part of me knew that I wanted to build it myself. Eventually, I found that people had been building homes and garages using these strange buildings called Quonset huts. I was immediately attracted to these buildings and the endless possibilities for customization. I found a company called SteelMaster, which is based out of Canada, and began discussing my needs with them.
Figured I'd mention, we are actually based in Virginia Beach, Virginia.
We settled on the S model and decided to go with the building at 40 feet in length and 24 feet in width. We knew there would be a little bit of a risk attempting to build this in our neighborhood, but since we didn't have an HOA and 2 houses down from us is a house with an attached basketball gym, which takes up their entire backyard, we knew that what we wanted was possible.
Yeah.
The catch-22, however, is that we didn't have plans to submit to the city until we purchased the steel, which was roughly $14,000. Calculating our risk, we put a deposit down for the steel arches and the base connectors in December of 2021, with the delivery set for March of 2022.
This customer's timeline is pretty common. First, customers get with one of our building representatives. They figure out a building size that's going to suit their needs, put down a deposit, and then weeks later, their engineered blueprints are sent out to the customer. Once the customer receives their engineered blueprints, they can then take these down to the permit office to see additionally what's required for permitting, and then also get bids for concrete and construction if they're going to hire that out.
This gave me time to begin the joyous process of permitting.
First need to do is get these base plates, connector plates.
In this image right here, we see the optional upgrade, the industrial base connector. It's not required for your project. However, it is a nice upgrade if the budget calls for it. You can see that this is a flat monolithic slab. The customer will then put the base connector on the edge of the concrete, square it, mark his holes, drill the holes for the wedge anchors, put some caulk on the plate, put it down on the concrete, and then anchor it down.
Mounted to the footers, because these are going to be what the steel arches are going to be mounted to, but I'm still waiting on my bolts for this, so I'm going to just move on to the next step, which is starting to assemble the arches. So this is the very first arch. See how massive it is, spanning 40 feet long.
Looks like the customer's laid out his panels and he is putting the building together, panel, I guess, forming up the first arch. This building's 40 wide, so I have a feeling he may transition to doing a panel-to-panel construction. But right now he's putting together all the panels and completing one arch, and then looks like they plan to lift that up into place.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 panels per arch. Can't remember off the top of my head, but I know what I'm doing. Yeah, they are heavy. It's going to take me about 3 to 4 guys to lift all of these into place, and so that's going to be the plan. Okay, so for those of you interested a little bit more into the details of how this all kind of fits together, so I was mistaken. It's not 7 panels, it's 8 panels per arch. Each panel has a different function. So this panel here at the very end is called the wall. It is a straight panel. The next is called an eave, and that is the most curved of all the panels. And the next is going to be a set of 3 roof panels, 1, 2, and 3. And then there's also one short, which is called a short, but it is also a roof panel. And the purpose of that is so that when I interlock each arch together, I will be basically overlapping one of the joints with something a little bit more sturdy. So it's not that way. All of the joints are not just joining to another joint, if that makes sense.
So what this customer is explaining is that there's a short roof panel for our SQ, XS, and XQ models. This short roof panel is staggered. So if you started on the left-hand side, when you go to arch number 2, you're gonna install it on the right-hand side and keep that staggered process as you construct the building.
This is a scaffold that I'm waiting till I have help to push this thing up.
You can tell this gentleman's a woodworker. He has built himself a custom scaffolding. So yeah, I mean, if you've got the lumber on site, or if that's a better option for you than going and renting equipment, yeah, I'm all for it.
Okay, so all the arches are up.
Look at that. Looks like they may need just to install a few pieces of curve angle, or that could be it. The building looks great. Just looking at everything, you know, like I mentioned before, it seems to be all in line. Nothing's standing out. It all looks uniform. Customer did a great job in construction.
We just did a half day today, and then I spoiled them all with some good barbecue for dinner. So awesome day, and I'm super pumped. We still have a bunch more bolts to go, really in this kind of center area that the scaffold is too high to reach, and so I have to kind of play with the scaffolding a little bit so that we can reach to get bolts on under really kind of these corners there. So I'm going to come up with some interesting solutions to get up top here safely, which may involve packing out or bringing out the climbing rope and setting up some anchors on each side of the ground, and that way I can kind of rappel myself up and down this thing, so that'll be fun. And then after that, we're ready for framing.
All right, welcome to my backyard. This is my shop. It is a Quonset hut that is 40 feet wide and 20 feet deep.
Now we're at the point of the video, it looks like the shop is up. The exterior is completed. I also like the Christmas lights at the top. That's very festive. So let's check out this gentleman's workshop.
I have an entire video documenting the whole process of the build that you can check out on my page. But for now, I want you guys to see the inside of the shop and see what I have going on in there.
Looking at the front wall, one of the things I noticed, the customer's got kind of a split wall system going on. So part of the wall goes all the way to the edge of the arches, and then part of the wall is recessed by about 3 arches, so maybe approximately 6 feet. I see they've got their side door on to the side of that, and near the window is some rugs and chairs. So looks like a nice inviting place. The big benefit of having those overhang, or that overhang, is so you get shade and also coverage from wind and snow. It's great to add some commenting into it. Gotta get the shot.
2 4x8 double doors which open up out, which is wonderful because it saves me extra space from having to open anything in. And also I can back up my truck, bring it right here, and unload my plywood and put it right there without having to carry it far at all. Or if I need to store my hardwood lumber to the right, I can do so right there. So that makes it super efficient. Plus, I love being able to open up the doors during the summertime and in the nicer months and just have a lot of airflow in here as well as visibility outside.
It's one of the big benefits to customizing your own end walls. This gentleman, I believe he said they're 6x8, I believe, but he's placed them exactly where he wants them. This allowed him as well to capitalize on side storage. So when he brings his lumber in, he doesn't have to bring it all the way to the back of the building. It can be brought in right where he wants it, up front, and allows him to give it a nice custom look. So great work.
Really nice work day. Some 2-inch, I've got some 4-inch thick white oak on that saw. So long as you have the right blade, you take your time, you're nice.
This shot right here really highlights one of the big draws to our buildings is that it's all clear span space. So there's no beams, trusses, posts, supports, anything like that getting in the middle of your building. It is all usable space on the interior. So he's made the best of that. He's got a great layout for his tools for woodworking. And this image really just shows a good image going across the building, showcasing that clear span.
really nice for little small parts. At some point I'll have to upgrade and get a bigger bandsaw, but that's how I feel about so many of my tools, and that's okay. I also behind me have the Harbor Freight lathe, which I don't use nearly as much as I would love to use it, but I love having it. So I'll never get rid of it because when I do get the chance to use it, it's a total joy. Okay, here is my Delta contractor table saw, and this is also on wheels so I can move it around.
Again, highlighting the 100% usable space. You can basically see across the whole 40-foot building. It's just widely available to place your tables, saws, and whatever arrangement's going to be best for you.
I like having it stored up against the wall because if I have the fence going over right here, I'm never going to go past that section. I feel like if I have it standing in the middle of the shop, I have all this space.
All right. So in that last video, we were able to showcase the options that a customized Endwall brings you. Now, that gentleman did custom woodworking doors. We're all not as talented as him with woodworking. So if you feel that might not be the way you want to go, you also have the option of doing like a sectional garage door or rolling sheet door. And we find that's a little bit more common, but if you've got the ability and you want to showcase it, you can do something to what this gentleman has done, which is absolutely beautiful. Thanks for watching. I'd like to give a special thanks to Scott at Pax Woodworking for sharing and posting his video. Scott is based in the Indianapolis area and does custom woodworking, so if you're in the market for anything like that, please support his business. We're going to put a link to his business below, and then go ahead and subscribe to his YouTube channel. As always, click subscribe to the SteelMaster YouTube channel. Feel free to comment below, and go to our website for more information at www.steelmasterusa.com. Thanks for watching.